Welcome to UWS Weekly, a show that is dedicated to covering United Women's Soccer, a national pro-am league with your host, Jonathan Ward. Each and every week, we will highlight players, supporters, and staff of the clubs we all pride ourselves to support in North America. The UWS is a league that is committed to advancing women's soccer. Good evening, soccer fans, and welcome to the UWS studio and to UWS Weekly, a show fueled by Rain Body Fuel and dedicated to the best women's pro-am league in the world. My name is Jonathan, and I'm excited to be joined by members of Corktown AFC for today's show. So joining me tonight representing Corktown, I have head coach Aaron Roy and Bella Ballard, who is joining the team this season. Good evening to both of you. How are you guys doing?
Hi, I'm doing well.
Doing great.
So Bella, we know you're currently in Hawaii. How's the weather going right now for you? I'm kind of jealous because you get to be in the sand and hang out a little bit. But how's it going?
No, it's a beautiful day today. Not a cloud in the sky, as you can probably tell. Yeah, everything Hawaii is looking good right now.
And Aaron, how about you? You got that Spurs flag going high in the air right there. How's everything going for you in Michigan right now?
Well, it's a little rainy outside right now, but the temperature's gone up. It's starting to get warm. We're starting to see the sun a lot more, so it's getting better.
Nice. Well, why don't we start with you guys telling the viewers a little bit about yourselves and how you got started in the game that we all love. And Bella, we'll start with you.
Yeah, well, my name is Bella. I'm 15. I'm from Honolulu, Hawaii. I've been playing soccer basically my entire life. My mom has been my coach for a majority of my life. I was playing in Hawaii for, trained by myself and playing with multiple clubs, but at the end of the day, it just really wasn't enough for me. So my dad and I both picked up literally all our things and moved to California and just started playing with a whole bunch of clubs out there. That has kind of been what me and my family have been doing for the past, I'd say 6 or 7 years. So it's been a while. Up until March of last year, that's kind of what we've been doing, just training. I was on a club team, but once COVID hit, kind of everything basically stopped in the soccer world, as both of you know. And I found myself back in Hawaii. I went back to training by myself, staying fit, training in my backyard, doing all the things that I used to do when I was in Hawaii.
So I have to ask, you have your own Instagram page. It's full of soccer stuff. What made you interested in starting that?
Well, I've had the Instagram page for probably 5 or 6 years. What really just made me want to start is just seeing all the other players have one. Professional players have one. They showcased all their skill videos, all their game highlights on Instagram, and I thought it was a great way to interact with players my age, get to know older players, get in contact with them, and just showcase what I can do that's just really easy access to college coaches.
And Aaron, what about you? How did you get interested in the game and still a part of it, since you began, couple years ago, many years ago?
I'm about 22 years in now, into coaching. I started coaching and training teams at a really young age at 18 years old in Metro Detroit. And, when I grew up playing club soccer, in the area for Sterling Clinton Soccer Club and then at Oakland University. And then I got right into seriously coaching and, I actually got thrown into a director of coaching role at a local club at a young age. And I was forced to really, find mentors, hit the books, do everything I could to soak up knowledge and learn, not only how to get on a field and demonstrate, but how to translate things, how to teach things to these kids. And it's been a journey, but it's been a lot of fun. And here I am 22 years later, working with the women at the women's pro-am level for 7 years now. So
I have to ask, what excites each of you heading into a new season, essentially a new beginning for not just you as a individual, but a club in Corktown? Bella, what excites you for this season?
Well, obviously, I'm really excited to finally meet all my teammates and coaches. I've never played in the UWS before, so it will be a new experience, but I'm looking forward to competing with them in practice and seeing what it's like to play against other really good players in a game setting. Another thing is I'm really looking forward to getting back onto the field, training, and just learning from them.
Aaron, what excites you? I know you got a lot of stuff that you're planning, not just being a head coach, but trying for that game day atmosphere. But what excites you heading into 2021?
It's mostly the pool of players. We have very, very talented young women and really, really good people. And bringing this group together, this has been because of how everything kind of fell flat last summer. For us now, it's been almost a year and a half in the making of piecing together this new club, and I think we've done a really, really good job. On paper, we got some world beaters in this club, and we just have to see how that all meshes together once we get out into the stadium. But I'm very optimistic, and I think it's going to be great. And the most exciting thing about it is that we're going to put a great product on the field that's fun for people to watch.
So I have to ask, and I know there's something to do with the baseball stadium. We'll get into that a little bit, but where did the name Corktown AFC come from, Aaron?
Well, it's a neighborhood district in near downtown Detroit, and of course the stadium is located in Corktown, and it's really as simple as that. That's where it came from, and our owner Eddie Hudson, he absolutely loved the idea, and we put it in a badge, and we put a couple things in there that are representative of where we play at. For instance, the Shamrock is a representation of the Irish heritage of the neighborhood back in the mid 1800s. And then the Tiger Paw is representative of the Detroit Tigers that played on these grounds for nearly 100 years.
So in terms of Corktown, also Small World Soccer is doing a badge contest, or they've taken some of the top 10 badges from soccer, and Corktown actually made it onto that list. We've retweeted it a few times, but I have to say congratulations. There's a couple fine logos on there, but Corktown is one of the best. So congratulations on that.
Yeah, thanks. I was surprised. Because, when the owner and myself, we worked together on trying to piece this thing together, and we really wanted to keep it simple. We wanted to keep it somewhat European vintage looking, and we didn't think that it was going to really, shock anybody by, with the look. It was it turned out to be exactly what we wanted. Very simple, very clean. And it was nice to see Danny recognize that and put us on that top 10.
I gotta give a shout out to John. John, I would pan away from it. I'm just waiting for my Corktown scarf. So, hey, Aaron, can you tell me about the historic ballpark that you guys play in? I know there's a lot of history behind it, but I have to hear a little bit more. I'm a huge baseball fan, other than outside of soccer, but the stadium has a little bit extra to it. Can you explain that to me?
Yeah, I'm not a historian, but I can tell you maybe a little more. When they tore Tiger Stadium down, I believe it was the late 90s, and to build Comerica Park, they didn't want to just redevelop the grounds into something else. They wanted to kind of keep that history there, and so Detroit Pal and Adient and a couple of other foundations came together, and they rebuilt this stadium that became a multi-purpose facility that really provides a place for a lot of youth in Detroit to come together and play youth football games and baseball games, and so that's kind of how it became what it is now, the Corner Ballpark, through Detroit Pal and their partners. But the grounds themselves, I mean, they've been playing baseball there since the late 1800s, and it was Briggs Stadium at one point, became Tiger Stadium, and it was called something else too. And to be honest, I can't remember. It had another name, but it's been there so long. And I mean, all the way back to when it was dirt roads and horse and buggy going up and down Michigan Avenue. And it's very interesting because you can go on historical Detroit websites and see all the old photos of the stadium and the things that were going on in the streets back then. It's really, really interesting. And what I love about being there with this team is that we're playing on grounds where athletes have been showcasing their abilities for 100 years. So it's really neat.
So, Bella, I'm going to put you on the hot seat. Being the newcomer to the club, obviously you've had conversations with Aaron and everybody else, but what is the mission, in your opinion, what is the mission of the club, and how do you represent those values? And then we'll have Aaron give us the mission.
Okay, well, I see Corktown as a club that has one of the best reputations in the UWS, not just player-wise or facility-wise, but just the atmosphere that they bring in, location, and just the coaching staff in Corktown. I think that I represent these values because I know that I am willing to work hard and I'm willing to showcase what I can do in a very competitive environment. And I'm just looking forward to competing and getting to know everybody in Corktown.
I think she was pretty close, Aaron. How close was she?
Fairly close. I think there's a few different facets to this, and number one, we do want to provide the best opportunity for the top talent in Metro Detroit to improve, to get better, to prepare themselves for whatever's coming next, whether it's their college fall season, whether it's a professional career in the NWSL or over in Europe, or for players like Bella who are making this 4,000-mile trip. We want to create a fantastic experience where she can improve and create memories that are going to last a lifetime, that she's going to take with her. I think outside of that, it's important that as we move along, that we're able to provide something exciting, something for the community to lean on and say, hey, this is ours, this is our team. They're good people, they're exciting to watch, they bring a great product to the field, and they get involved in our community, like we've done this past summer with coat drives and helping clean up the community and things like that. So basically, I think in a nutshell, just providing a fantastic opportunity for top-tier players and creating a relationship with our community.
So, Bella, Coach Roy kind of gave us an idea of that 4,000 miles that you'll be traveling to play. But what makes you want to travel 4,000 miles to play a game when there's teams that are, closer to home, essentially?
Yeah, well, what really made me want to travel so far was Corktown itself. They are a female-centric club that is just amazing at catering to their athletes and providing all these resources. I reached out to them knowing and hoping that they would respond back, and luckily they did, and I'm thrilled for that. But the main thing that really drove me to Corktown was, the staff and the players. I know I've heard a lot about these players coming in, and I know that they are some of the best in the nation. So I think the competitiveness that is going to be brewed from all these top talent, I think that's going to be one of the best things about Corktown, and I think that's what really drove me to play there.
Nice. Aaron, you're heading into 22, maybe your 23rd season of coaching soccer now. How do you stay sharp at a game that has evolved every year since you began 20 some odd years ago?
The most important thing for me has always been to try and put myself in positions where I'm surrounded by really good people, very knowledgeable coaches. I've never ever thought that there was nothing else to learn. And a mentor of mine told me, don't stop learning or you're just going to tread water while other coaches are swimming by you. And so continual learning, surrounding myself with great coaches that have something that they have a lot of things that I can learn from. I have a great coaching staff, and I think, Bella kind of touched on that. I think that's a huge reason why we draw so many top players, is that this coaching staff is extensive and it's diverse, and every coach has very unique talents, things that they're specifically very good at. And when I went out to try and find the staff, that was my aim. My aim was, who can I find that's very good at this facet of the game? Who can I find that's very good at this facet of the game? And I really wanted to piece together this puzzle of this diverse staff that were very good at all these individual things. And we've been able to do that, and it's been exciting. And I think a lot, the few things we were able to do last summer, I think that we were able to really showcase that to the players in the club. And the feedback over the past, since the past summer, has been amazing. Players just saying, I really want to come back. I love the coaching staff. I love the fact that there's 6 coaches there. If I have a specific question about a specific thing, I know I can go to this coach or this coach, and they're going to have the answers. And it's a lot of fun. But that's how I stay sharp. I make sure that I'm always, asking questions and trying to learn from others to improve my coaching game, so to speak.
So what are some of the challenges you faced through COVID, and how have you overcome those challenges, those specific challenges, in preparation for 2021 in this season? Bella?
Well, I think a lot of players, just like me, have experienced very hard challenges through COVID, having experienced everything being shut down, their club being basically dismantled, and their league, DA, just not existing anymore. But to really overcome these things, I've just gone back to, like I said before, what I'm used to. Coming back to Hawaii, I've been training by myself, jumping into club training sessions, jumping into pickup sessions here, and just, running near the beach, using the sand to my advantage. Just seeing what I can do and pushing myself, even though I know it's not an easy road.
Aaron?
To overcome challenges, it's been tough because the protocols and the state requirements, it's been ever changing throughout this whole pandemic, that it hasn't been easy. It's been tough, and you have to really stay on top of everything and keep searching for new information. Okay, this is what the protocol was, what's the updated protocol, updated information, things like that. But, it's just basically just staying on top of things. I mean, as long as, I think a lot of coaches would attest to this, if as long as you stay aware and you stay organized and you stay on top of this stuff, it's not too tough to manage, really. You're going to run into situations where, where quarantine is involved, or, you have a positive test here and there. I mean, it's been happening everywhere in every program across the country. And, you just deal with it through the protocols. And just hoping that things start getting better soon. But until then, we just follow what the guidelines are. So,
with so many players and teams that are engaging in social media these days, the club has done some really great things in promoting itself from within. Why is social media so important to our communities? And Bella, we'll start with you, because your page, you get a lot of interest and activity. You're showing your training every day, or at least, every few days you're on Instagram showing what you're doing. How is that important to the soccer community to see what you're doing?
I think it's very important. I was able to initially find Corktown through social media. That's how I found them, how I try to get in touch. But other than that, I think specifically like on Instagram, it's a great place to showcase what you've been doing to other coaches. It's a great way to put yourself out there and hopefully like kind of talk to a coach, not talk to them, but show them what you can do through video. I think it's a great way to also kind of push yourself, see what new creative things you can do with a simple ball and cones. And I think there's no lack of creativity that can come from social media.
And Aaron, you Skipper and Eddie do a really good job of making sure you're promoting the club. And how has that helped the club with drawing interest and keeping people excited for 2021?
Oh, I can't. I mean, it's been enormous because we haven't had an actual season yet, and the ability to really showcase our players, our staff, our ownership, everything that we've been doing to be able to showcase that on social media has been nothing short of enormous for us. And and of course, as we spoke on earlier in the conversation, as Bella said, it was part of what drew her here towards our club. And on the other side of that, I'm the type of coach where I go out and I scout lots of games. This is how I find my players. And when Bella sent an email to the club, and in so many words, she said, I'm very confident in my abilities, and I can, I'm able to do this and I'm able to do that. And, on the back of my mind as a coach, I'm thinking, okay, show me. And without social media, I would not have been able to see, her abilities, the extent of her abilities. And then through that, I was able to contact and have a decent conversation with David Copeland-Smith. And he had the nicest things to say about Bella and her abilities and her drive and her fantastic parental support. So I don't think we can say enough about how big of an impact social media has had on our club.
So I have to ask, and Bella, I'll start with you because you're the one traveling for this experience. How do you measure success for yourself this season and for the club?
Well, I obviously really want to win, walk away with lots of like a trophy. But for me personally, I measure success through what I'm able to learn, how I'm able to grow as a player, what I'm able to see, because this is definitely going to be a new experience for me. But I believe that if I compete and if I earn everything in every training session, I think this will be a great memory and hopefully something that I can build upon.
Aaron, how do you measure success this season as the head coach of Corktown AFC?
Well, I think I have to start off the same way Bella did. We like to win. We're very competitive, but I do have to say this. If we're able to provide the opportunity for every player to get better, if we're able to provide an experience that creates memories that are going to last a lifetime, and if they go back to school healthy, if we can do those three things, that's enormous. I mean, that to me, in my mind, even if you don't leave the season with hardware, that's success. Players getting better, creating memories, and going back to school healthy and ready to compete, that's success.
So some of the clubs in the UWS have a youth club or an affiliate associated through ECNL, a select program. But Corktown, you guys are an independently run organization. How do you recruit your players as such an organization? Obviously, having players like Bella who are ready to make that commitment and travel. But how are you guys able to get players for the club?
Well, our staff, myself included, we're pretty well connected in the soccer community, and I do a lot of scouting. And about 4 years ago, I took a job that actually it was about 5 years ago. I took a job that pulled me away from youth soccer, I was coaching a lot, and so now I have a lot of time to go out and scout games and watch players and evaluate and really figure out exactly what fits into our program. And I think that, with some programs, it's tough. It's tough with the staff because they do have coaches that are involved with 4 or 5 youth teams and they're directors of coaching, and time is very limited. So basically, within our connections within the club soccer community and the time and the ability I have to go scout games and communicate with players, that's how we pull in what we have.
Before we get into the hot seat questions for you this evening, I have to ask, what should fans be excited about or look forward to this coming season at Corktown? Bella?
I think they should be excited about a new team, a new group of players who are super excited to get back onto the field, play some games. I think the team chemistry is going to be great. So I think they should be most excited about games.
Aaron?
It's definitely, I think that the thing that really makes this club is the players that are involved in it. And I think that what people should be most excited about is that product, that group of players that we're going to put on the field is going to be exciting to watch. I mean, we have a lot of big time players, a lot of national program players, a lot of Big 10, Big 12 players, Big East players. There's too much to name. I mean, it's very, very exciting, the lineup of players that we've got coming to this program this summer. And that's what's going to be most exciting for people with this club.
All right, let's get on the hot seat. So these questions are created by our producer, Joe, who is not behind stage tonight, but he does make sure he gets those questions ready for, this is going to be a good one. So his first question tonight, what was the last song you heard played on your device? Start with Bella.
Probably, I don't know, probably one of the Weekend songs, like the Blinding Lights one. That's been played a lot.
Aaron?
Swinging on a Star by Bing Crosby.
What topping does not belong on a pizza?
Mushrooms, definitely.
Any kind of fish.
Oh,
So
yeah.
anchovy for Aaron. Lake or ocean? Obviously, we know Bella's answer to this one.
Ocean. Ocean, definitely.
I'm a lake person. Yeah.
Least favorite endurance exercise or tests?
Suicides. the worst.
For me, just any distance running. Oh,
Any cardio, just sign me out, right? Let's see. And his last question for you guys this evening, and we'll get into one more question after. Joe wants to know what is your go-to cleat? What is your go-to boot?
Probably leather Mizunos. I've been wearing those a lot. One of my favorite.
leather copas.
And before I let you guys go this evening, I have to ask the question, what does community mean to you?
Well, to me, community means playing together as a team, understanding each other, understanding how each of us play, communicating and being able to learn, and just playing together as a team.
Creating bonds, through honest and kind interactions, intentional interaction, players being hands-on in the community, helping with this and that. To me, that's community. You go out and you help others, and they come out and they support you.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Sounds great. Well, I really appreciate you two taking the time this early afternoon in Hawaii. What is it, 2:00 there right now?
Yeah, I believe it is 2:02 p.m.
2:02, and Aaron, you're over. You're way past bedtime almost. It's 8:00 that way. I appreciate you guys giving me the time to have a conversation. How can Bella? How can people find you on social media to stay up to date before you get to Corktown?
Oh, well, you can find me at Bella Ballard FC on Instagram and Bella Ballard FC on YouTube as well.
And Aaron, how about you or the club?
You can find us on any social media platform at Corktown AFC.
Awesome. Well, you two, I really appreciate you guys giving me the opportunity to talk to you, and I look forward to hopefully getting out to Corktown for a match this summer, given the proper guidelines, right?
Yeah, we'll work on that scarf.
That's exactly what we can put it over one as John has requested. So thank you so much for taking the time, you two. We will talk to you guys later this summer.
Have a great night. Thank you.
All right. A special thank you to Aaron and Bella for taking the time to join us this evening. This segment is dedicated to highlighting individuals in our UWS communities doing awesome things away from the pitch. This person could be a supporter, club staff, or a player who's doing something to change or support their community. It is my honor tonight to have the opportunity to speak with Corktown AFC defender Zoe Hudson, who's involved in the community and has been a voice for social justice. Zoe, thank you for taking the time to join me this evening. How are you doing?
Thanks for having me. I'm doing very well. How are you?
I'm doing really good. Thank you. So I want to ask, what is it that you have been doing in the community to kind of, create a voice and an opportunity? We'll ask some more questions, but kind of give us an idea into what you're up to.
I like to give back to the communities that I'm a part of. And I would say I'm most predominantly a part of my community at school at Bowling Green State University, and of course playing with Corktown. So the Detroit community there. One thing that I've done for Corktown this past winter, a couple of my teammates and I, and Coach Aaron, of course, we went to a local church and did a coat drive. And for me personally, that was a very humbling experience, especially because having a winter coat on a cold day is something that I have never had to worry about. So having the opportunity to give that to somebody else was a very humbling experience, and I was very proud to be representing Corktown while doing that. And then I would say at my school, as an athlete, I feel like you're definitely on a platform and you have an opportunity to use your voice for good. So basically in the daily daily tasks of my life at school, whether that's going to class or just being on campus, I do my best to represent the Bowling Green women's soccer team as best as I can.
So I have to ask, social justice and equity, right? We call it, we look at it in diversity, equity, and inclusion here. It's been kind of the key terms as of late. How are you vested in this as it relates to Corktown and at Bowling Green with the diversity, inclusion, and equity?
Yeah, diversity, inclusion, equity, those are values that are very, very important to me, very near and dear to my heart, especially as a minority in the community, as a biracial woman. You know, these things have a direct effect on me. You know, I would like to be a part of a community that is inclusive, that is diverse. So I do my best to use my voice, social media as well, to express how important that is to me, specifically on my team at Bowling Green. You know, during quarantine, when there was many social justice issues, I took it upon myself to reach out to my teammates, let them know how important it is to me that as my teammate, you know, if they see someone who looks like me, or essentially a minority, to just speak up and just be a good person.
Awesome. So how can people find out what you're up to and stay up to date with some of the things that you're passionate about and you're trying to make a difference in your community?
Well, I have my personal social media pages, Zoe Hudson, and the BG women's soccer team Instagram, and the Corktown AFC Instagram, you know, that kind of branches off of that as well.
Before I let you go, what are you excited about most this upcoming 2021 campaign in the UWS?
I'm excited to play. I know that's probably a lot of players' answers, but it's just we made it work a little bit over this past summer, but unfortunately with you know, guidelines, policies, we had to cut it short. They definitely did a good job of making it feel normal. So hopefully we can get that back in full swing this coming season.
Awesome, Zoe. Well, I really appreciate you hanging out and taking the time to have this conversation. And I look forward to potentially doing a Ask Me Anything here in the near future.
Of course. Thanks for having me.
Have a great night, Zoe. Thank you so much. All right. So the league has announced most of its schedules have been announced for the UWS 2021 campaign, with the West Conference, East Conference, Southwest, Midwest, and Central conferences. So make sure you check out the schedules. Can be found on uwssoccer.com or on their Instagram, Twitter, Facebook pages. And you can also find them here on Twitter with UWS_weekly. The national championship will be announced soon, with the dates being July 23rd through 25th. Again, the site is to be determined, but it will host the top 4 teams from the UWS after the playoffs have finished the mid of July. Want to send a special congratulations to Coach Troy Flannery of the Impact on winning the Burt Goldberger Award. This award recognizes those who lead and inspire others to improve the game of soccer, and that was given out through SASA. And if you've paid attention online over the last few nights, Unity and FC Austin Elite were in a lower league USA tournament. They had defeated all the men competition and were the last 2 remaining teams. Not only that, they were representatives of the UWS and UWS2. The poll ended on Tuesday night around 10:30 Pacific, with Unity ending up with a 51-49% victory over FC Austin Elite. Both teams it's exciting. It is a great opportunity, and I'm extremely grateful to have both of those teams here in the UWS. So that's it for everything this evening. Thank you so much for taking the time to join us here on UWS Weekly. You can follow all things UWS and UWS2 on their social media pages and send those questions for future shows as well. Saturday morning, 6 a.m., I'm going to be joined by Megan from Unity and also Danny from Small World to talk a little bit about the schedule for the UWS this 2021 season. So with that, I look forward to talking with everybody then. Cheers, everyone. Have a great rest of the evening.